I did Exposure in 2013 and I took on roles from producer, director, floor manager, that sort of thing, so I was TV based. I also took part in the radio one, but it was minor radio, so I only did one show every week. Pretty stressful. The day before, I really did not like directing at all. I hated it. I loved producing because it meant I was in control, but directing, for some reason, me and directing didn't get on. And the day before I had to direct, it was the second show into Exposure, and the day before I had to direct, we went through a run through, and I sat there and I cried all the way through. And so I was sort of going camera 3 and crying, and I was just like, this is terrible, but I got on with it because you have to. That's just, if I didn't sit there and direct, there was nobody to direct. So even though I was crying and all the camera operators were like, I can't understand a word you're saying, I got on with it. I think for me personally, it was the idea that, I don't know, it's not being able to do something, possibly. I don't have a lot of self-belief and, you know, you kind of panic. It's a very high pressured environment, and if you're not used to that, it's kind of stressful, I guess. Take a deep breath, get yourself away from the situation if you have to. Don't be afraid to release your stress how you release your stress. A lot of people I show stress very outwardly, but it doesn't always mean that I can't cope. I know my limits, whereas other people don't know my limits, and it doesn't always help if people criticise the fact that you're stressed, because it just makes you more stressed. It's not going to calm you down. So be aware of people around you, be aware that they're also stressed, and that, you know, people deal with it in different ways. I don't work in television, however I do work in marketing, and we did a certain degree of marketing during Exposure, which, you know, is always good experience. But it's, you know, you don't get a lot of degrees where you get to work in an environment that is real. The knowledge that you can be bossy, you can tell people what to do. It's not okay for people to put you down for any reason. However, you have to know your place at the right time. What Exposure taught me very well was that, you know, one day we could be director or producer, and the next day we'd be on auto cue, and you just have to take who is in charge as who is in charge. It's, you know, there's a form of hierarchy for a reason, because it wouldn't work without a form of hierarchy, but at the same time you have to, when you're in a lower position, you have to respect the higher positions, and when you're in a higher position, people have to know that they need to respect your decisions. And I think that, in terms of my job, there are moments where I am in a more knowledgeable place than somebody else, and a lot of people don't know how to respect that knowledge. Relax, be yourselves, enjoy it, of course. I was going to say keep calm and carry on, but then I decided that was really cheesy.